Hey, good evening, Let's Talk family. Uh, Tonight, Monday night, every Monday night, we go over our review show, and tonight we review Power Book for Force, Episode 3. Episode 3 was named The Fire Starter. I guess it was the Fire Starter because of what Tommy did. I'll lead off because I know I always put it on Keisha and Dwayne to lead off, but I'll lead off tonight. I thought the episode was pretty decent. I won't say it was great, and I won't say it was bad. I think that episode 3 really should have been part of episode 1. Some of the episode, I think that what we've seen was with Tommy trying to have this meeting between CBI and the Flynns should have been something that should have happened early. With the pushback, with the history and the cultural and ethnic differences that the underworld have with other people, with other fractions. So I thought that that was good. I thought that it lived up to the title of the show, Power, because you see that Gerard and Claudia are very ambitious and they want their own form of power, and they got their eyes on the as on the crown. So I think that's very interesting. I was surprised at the fight because they had a public fight in front of other people. So I was kind of shocked that they did that. I was surprised that Gerard even challenged Diamond in front of people, but that's their interpretation of what would happen in the street amongst brothers. Other than that, what's up, you guys?
What's going on?
Hey,
Y'all
so
kind of
can I
quiet.
go? Because
Yeah,
I didn't
please,
like
ladies
it.
first.
I am not feeling the love of power. And y'all know how much I love Tommy. It's not doing it for me right now. I couldn't even go through watching this episode a second time. But what I'll talk about what I like. I like Liliana. I like the position of the brothers, that disconnect with the brothers. I like that. Um, the father, I like the dynamic of talking about how the how the different fractions don't get along in Chicago, but I think I have a problem that Tommy is so naive because it's not as relevant or prevalent in New York, but he is aware of he was getting beat up in his area as a kid. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. It's not doing it for me. I want it to be doing it for me, but it's just not. How do you guys feel?
Well, Keisha,
Um,
go ahead, Dwayne.
it's a typical episode 3 of the Power Universe. Usually, episodes 3 and 4, you don't get as much action as you would like. Um, it's like we've been talking about this show leading into it. Everything that's happening is you knew was gonna happen. You knew the CBI brothers was gonna have a difference of opinion. We did say that. You knew that the young lady Flynn wants to be in charge, and it's going to be the whole thing with her and Vic. You knew she was going to be the one that got down with Tommy with the Flynn family. So it's a lot of stuff that you can anticipate. I like the Liliana character. I liked her outfit when she was cutting the coat. We need to see more of that. Um,
She ain't had nothing
you
on.
know, yeah, exactly. So we'll take that. Again, I think I need clarity on who Jason is that Tommy is referencing. Because he was saying, yeah, I reached out to Jason and talked to him about this, that, and the third. But Jason dead, man. He died on the roof. So what Jason is he talking about?
But the other serves, it was a lot of serves. So the rest of the serves, somebody had to take over the organization.
No, I agree, but he literally said the name Jason. And we all know Jason died on that roof. So Is there
What do
another
y'all
Jake?
think about the Flynn guys telling Tommy he looked Irish, even though Tommy is Irish, Kate is Irish.
I
But
think
how
that
did go ahead?
I think he spotted it. I think that you know the Flynn is very older traditionalist, so he understands that as we would say, lineage matters. Where you're from matters. Your ethnic background matters. And Tommy's response was, Tommy. He said, "Nah, I'm a mutt." Basically, he telling you, "No, I'm mixed with stuff." And I never really got accepted by the Irish, and he never got accepted by the Italians because his mother was Kate is Irish. So I think that's an interesting dynamic where I guess Walter Flynn felt as though that he had a connection with Tommy, and Tommy kind of nipped that in the bud early, Keisha. But I'm glad that they're talking about that because I think that's important with the history of Chicago. I think that that's very prevalent, relevant to Chicago, the North Side and the South Side, and what goes on and the dynamics behind the scene. One other point that I wanted to make before I forgot was Chicago has these council leaders called aldermans, and they referenced the alderman was coming after the Flynn, and she went and met Claudia, went and met him and paid him money. Um, Different from other big cities, aldermans have a lot of power. So if you ever watch any shows that's based in Chicago and they start talking about them aldermans, they usually have more power than almost the mayors because they really control their area, their district. So I'm glad that they're trying to do things that are relevant to that city. I
And
thought it was.
who do you think is paying for the grandmother's nursing home?
Said he had
I think
he
that's a
had a
mystery. Go ahead,
but
Dwayne.
JP said that she had some type of trust that was paying for it.
Yeah, I think that's a mystery. I think the whole JP, his father, Kate leaving Chicago. I think that's a whole storyline that they probably won't even get into it this season, but I think that's going to open up a whole can of worms. I know Tommy is not he don't want to communicate with Kate, but I think that Kate is going to come back to really explain a lot of the background. Nicole said, "I would rather see Liliana than the other chicken." I don't know the other chicken you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
I think that they may be related. They're playing deep into the family, not accepting interracial relations, etc. Kate could have been disowned, possibly. I think Flynn is paying for it. That could be true. I mean, the angles are very interesting.
As if
Wi-
Flynn is related to Tommy.
you
Like, why
think
would
so?
he? Could be. Because
Flynn is
Kate just got into some money from Ghost when Ghost passed.
Anthony said, "I think Ghost is paying some of the trust money."
he may be.
Tommy's girl, he's dealing with her name, Nicole, is Gloria. I think that, like I said, I thought the episode was not like Dwayne said. Me and Dwayne talked about it prior, Keisha,
Typical.
and somebody told Dwayne it was a bad episode. I don't think it was a bad episode. I think it was a typical number
Nah,
three episode.
somebody told me the whole Power Book 4 is terrible.
Oh,
And they
okay.
don't even know why we wasting our time reviewing it. That's just what they said. I don't agree
Well,
with it,
well, look, the thing is,
but
I one thing that we do is that we review stuff even though we may not like it. I know we are both us three. We were really down in the shot the last two seasons, but we kept it up. We kept our review up. But according to the ratings, Force is doing quite well.
yeah, it's doing
Um,
well. I mean, listen, because people love Tommy. They do.
It's
Um,
people of Tommy, but also the lead is Caucasian.
True.
I
And the majority of the cast is Caucasian.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that it is gonna do well. I mean,
Yep.
I just think I'm not connecting to it. I don't think that it's horrible. I'm just not connecting to it. If that
It
makes
just
sense
doesn't
what I'm
make
saying.
sense.
Yeah, it's
It
just not hitting me the way that I want. Like I like the two brothers dynamic, but that don't have anything to do with Tommy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Well,
just not connected for me.
here's the thing that's surprising to me, right? You got a little bit of insight as to why the Flynn's and CBI don't get along. Because of what happened to the right hand man's wife. And, he got all hot under the collar and was ready to come at Diamond. And Diamond was like, yo, y'all killed 9 of my people on some mistaken identity type thing. So it's good to know that. But how does Tommy, as an outsider, bring these two factions together? That's the one that's a little bit far fetched for me. That they got this much animosity, but Tommy's the one that could bring them all in a room together, you know?
I think Dwayne, that you hit on the key right there, and why Keisha is not connecting with it. And I think that you're saying something that's not really realistic right there. An outsider, not only an outsider from the next town over, an outsider from a whole different part of the country, is bringing historical fractions of families that are historically beef together. They'd have looked at Tommy as a cop. At the end of the day, nobody has accused of Tommy of being a cop, which I find to be weird. And one of the things I think where Keisha's not connecting with is, at the end of the day, Tommy's never really been a thinker. I mean, I know a lot of people want to say, well, in Power he did. No, 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 no. Tommy did a lot of things off emotion in Power. Now, this is a whole different role for Tommy. As he would say, he hasn't said, I'm about to cancel Christmas, his favorite phrase. So now you're seeing Tommy thinking about money, thinking about power, control. So it's a different side of him that usually, like even with Liliana, he would have finished her. Like, he'll say something slick to her and she'll say something back. But the old Tommy would have really been like, yo, you gonna tell me where you got these drugs. And I think going into episode 4, we're gonna find out a little bit more about where she got the drugs from, because nobody pops up with that amount of drugs and you don't have to answer for it. And so I think that's it's just a side of Tommy that we're just not used to, or we've never seen. I don't think we've ever seen, even when he was in charge and power. He used to be hard on Two Bit. He used to just be off the handle. So
And I
I
don't
think it's
even
interesting.
remember him saying to kill Liliana. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember that.
Well, I thought that was weird anyway, because she didn't do anything to get robbed. That was more Kanan sending red shoes, pink shoes, to get her
Pink
killed, and
shoes.
then lying and saying Rolo did it, which was always interesting because Rolo basically was raised by Ghost, and I don't know why Ghost believed Kanan, and that was Ghost's fault in Power. So why would they ever thought that Liliana was crossing when she got cut in the face and they sent her away? So I don't even know. Even them fighting was kind of weird, but that was just some of the backstory. She thought he was trying to kill her, and vice versa.
Yeah, like I said, typical episode 3 in the Power Universe. Episode 4 probably give you some more boredom. Then they'll hit you with 5 and it'll have action. Then they'll take that mid-season break.
Episode 4 is somebody from the past is coming in. I just read that online. Somebody from Tommy's past. So I'm guessing
But
this.
Keisha, don't believe that stuff. They told Dwayne it was going to be in episode 3.
Oh,
That's what
oh.
the IMD and these. I'm learning that IMD and these articles are guessing. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, they're watching this stuff real time like everybody else. And if Courtney, when she does her shows on Tuesdays, if she don't give nobody no spoilers, which she never does,
But has she been doing Tuesday shows of Force, or she was
yeah,
only doing that of 2?
she probably gonna give it up. But she did one last week.
Yeah,
Anthony
I mean,
said this
listen.
this might sound stupid, but at the end of the train pass, well, the train pass and that might have been a clue, Anthony. You never know with Power. They always try to give you something, Easter egg and something. Nicole said Tommy and Ghost were like yin and yang. Now he has to control his emotion. I think more to get that money. Yeah, it's a different side of Tommy. You was about to say something, Dwayne?
Nah, I was just saying that it's typical. So 3 and 4 be boring. They'll come with some action in 5, and that'll be the mid-season break. And you have to wait a little while, and then they'll come back with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But
I'm gonna tell
it's
you. I'm
the
gonna
same
tell y'all
MO.
something. Keisha and Dwayne, somebody in the community chat on YouTube, hit me with the most
Nah, I'm
craziest
good.
scenario. They said they said perhaps Gloria's husband was Mecca, and I was like, what? But that's the type of scenarios and type of stuff that go on because remember, Gloria said that her husband went to the service and never returned. So when they said it, I was like, what the hell? But that was interesting. So
Oh yeah, it could be.
so everybody in the chat, let us know you guys rating. We ain't gonna have a long show. We don't have long shows for no reason. Keisha, tell me
Yes.
tell me your rating.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
A 6.
I mean, because it's just me not connected with it. I don't think that it's everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't think it's everybody else. I think it's just me. I'm not connected to it whatsoever. So I need a little more time.
A 6, Keisha?
Well, what you want me to get a 3?
Anthony gave it a 7.
If you ask me what I gave it,
What you giving it, Dwayne?
I'm giving it a
Nicole
5.
gave it a
I'm giving it.
6.
I'm giving it a 5, man. It was
Well,
a
I
middle of
gotta
the road.
reevaluate if Dwayne is giving it a 5.
No,
No,
Keisha.
let me
The
explain.
craziest
Let me
thing, Keisha,
let me
when Dwayne
explain
said he was
why. Let me
Dwayne,
explain
why you giving
why.
it a 5?
I'm giving it a 5 because it was a middle of the road episode. It was very slow. I didn't like the MMA. He kicking him in his leg and he losing his senses. Um, that shit was whack. Excuse my language. The whole baseball and him throwing the ball at his head. Like, listen, we know the brothers is beefing. We know.
I like the
Uh,
MMA ear or whatever. I thought that was realistic.
yeah, you thought it was okay. Yeah, well, again, it's not surprising. I disagree with Quentin in one aspect of the show. It's not surprising that they beefed in front of people because you saw that coming already in other episodes. Like Diamond walked off with Tommy in front of all the people that was with his brother's crew. So he's kind of been sunning his brother the whole time. So that's why he had to tell him, like, yo, it's different. It's different. But yeah, I give it a 5, man. I just think it was a middle of the road episode. Um, Again, the whole meeting with Flynn and them, that in real life, that's not going down like that. Especially with so much turmoil. That man was ready to put some hands on Diamond. He stood up and everything. Of course, they give you the funny little lines, like when the dude said what he said to Liliana, and she was like, "Shave the mustache off," and I may think about it. But she had already told Tommy she ain't effing with white boys.
Did you
So
like the BLM BET line?
I thought that was very cheesy and corny. I thought that was very cheesy and corny. But that's power. They do that stuff. They try to put that little stuff in there. Um, the deal with the cop. So now the cop worked for the Flynn's, and that's why he was up in Diamond's shop. So they try and tie all that together. If you're gonna bring an alderman in the mix, give me Ray Price or Matt Casey. Bring one of those aldermen in the mix. But the alderman
Matt
thing is
Casey from Chicago Fire.
from Chicago Fire or my man Ray. Ray from PD. He was an alderman too. But yeah, 5, man. 5. There was nothing. What was in this episode that made you say, "Oh wow"? What was the wow factor in this episode? It wasn't. It was one of those where you're like, at one point in the episode, I said, let me just leave it for a second and go get me a tangerine. And then I came back and wasn't mad that I ain't missed anything because I didn't feel like I don't feel like there was anything for me in this episode. That's why I gave it a 5.
You know what's
Alderman Davis.
Alderman Davis is
That's
from Good
right.
Times, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason why I was messing with Keisha when Keisha said it was a 6 is because I had already had it in my head. I was giving it a 5. So I was surprised that Keisha would be ahead of me and Dwayne. So I know Keisha has to rethink her rating.
Man, she got reevaluated.
Like I said, I just think I don't think it was a bad episode. I don't think it was a great episode. It has to do some, unfortunately with a new series, you always got to have episodes where they got to do some character details with the character. I do think one of the things I think that most people may not know is Claudia fits the profile of Irish women. Irish women are either I know people that's not that people that's Irish may get mad at me for saying this, but they're either gonna be real laid back or they're gonna be very, very aggressive. And Claudia fits the profile to a T. I think that her ambition could wind up leading to a war. I think her ambition is even greater than Vic's. I don't like the way Vic is being played. Dwayne and myself see Shane in other shows. He's a very good actor, you guys. And I just don't like him in this in Power Book 4. That's Vic, Vic Flynn. He could bring more depth to that character.
Yeah, but that's because
I don't like him or JP. The actor needs to improve for me.
Yeah, it was a slow episode. It really was. I agree with Nicole on that. But that's power, y'all. Like, that's power. Nah, no, she don't. Stop hating. She don't need to keep her clothes off. More glory. Y'all had Julio. Oh, y'all went crazy off y'all.
We need some more Julios. It ain't
y'all
nothing.
Had Julio give us
it ain't no
glory.
eye candy.
Oh, you got Tommy. Give us
I mean,
glory.
Tommy, all right, but Big Ear is scary. The Big Ear. I'm gonna give it a 4 since y'all giving it a 5.
I want you to give it a 3, but I'll take your 4. But listen, it was a boring ass episode. That's what it is, man. I watched it once, and you couldn't pay me to watch it again. There's no need for me to watch it again. It was a snooze fest, folks. They gave you some things. Yeah, her rib cage was there. She could use to have a little bit of steak and less salad. Yes. But what y'all think? They call him Firestarter.
This guy's making references to salad less than 24 hours after that BS he sent me.
Listen, they making, and shout out to my man Principal Corey Lowry and CIAA Coach of the Year. Shout out to him for all my Unionites. So listen, it was decent. Have we seen the last of the Alderman? Was that enough money for him? Or is he going to be coming up? Listen, also, man, it's pretty cool that Vic was able to pull that type of money out and told the lady, have this for the police benevolent fund. Or whatever he said.
He said it's funny, he didn't say police athletically, he said police activity league.
Yeah, he said the PAL.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Tommy's reaction when he saw the feds was watching. How do y'all think about that? Like, what do y'all think? Like,
Your fingerprints don't change. That's what I think. He should have been more paranoid.
Yeah. But he think he clean, especially after that cop situation. So listen, y'all asked the question, right? Y'all asked the question of how does everybody know his name? Well, the Flynns know everything, man. He knew that he know who Tommy's brother is. He know the grandmother situation. That's how they know Tommy's name. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think Tommy ever said his name to Diamond.
He never said his name to nobody.
But listen, the Flynn know Walter Flynn knows. Remember, he said something to him when he went to the house. He know who the mother is. That's why what Keisha saying, she feel like the Flynns may be paying for that senior home. They very well be. Flynn knows what's going on, man. He knows. He runs that city. You understand what I'm saying? So do people understand the significance, Q, of South Side and North Side?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad they talked. Like I said, I'm glad they talked about the difference within the culture and the ethnic backgrounds of the South Side Chicago and North Side Chicago. Even with the Caucasian segment in that's in the South Side, it goes every show that has been authentic to Chicago tries to really explain that dynamic. Just put it that this way: the North Side Caucasian fragment is very affluent, according to people that lived in Chicago. South Side is more of, as we say, people that got it from the mud,
Mm-hmm.
even within the races. So, my father was born in the South Side of Chicago, Cook Memorial Hospital. So it's interesting what goes on in Chicago, like we said about the alderman stuff, and like Flint, like you just brought up something I didn't even think about. Like Flynn would know, like would do his homework on who Tommy is, this new guy.
He from the neighborhood. He knows that lady had 2 grandkids and that Kate left. I wouldn't be surprised if you find out later on down the line that Flynn was sleeping with Kate. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Anthony, you said is
Like I
Diamond
said,
trying to be her own boss. Her name is not Diamond. Her name is Claudia. Diamond is the brother from CIB,
CBI.
CBI. Claudia is the daughter of Walter Flynn.
Right.
I don't think Claudia wants to be her own boss. I just think Claudia is very ambitious and she's what we would say progressive in her thinking.
Yeah.
And she's trying to bring more money to the family business so that she could
Yeah.
run it.
I
Typical.
think both. I think both of the kids are progressive, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I think she beats to her own drum. The brother is going to kowtow to the father, to the
Well, here's
Flynn.
the thing. Here's the thing. They both want to just get out of the pill business. The father just want to stay in the pill business. But I want y'all to pay attention to something, right? And here go my overthinking ass again. What's the title track to Force?
I don't know.
When 50 is rapping, what he rapping about?
I know it's him and Jeremiah. I don't know.
Power, powder, respect. So he letting you know it was about the Coke game in Chicago. Go back and listen to the lyrics when they first come in.
Well, one of the things that I think that like you and Keisha said about the father is as ambitious as Victor and Claudia is and what they want to do, the father knows his lane and he knows the tradition. He knows the heat that cocaine and heroin can bring outside of pills. For some people, it may just be a drug is a drug is a drug, but it's different type of drugs that bring you different type of heat from different type of police.
I
So
think
I
it's
think it's
realistic though when you think about how the kids don't care about racism. They don't care. They just trying to make their money.
hmm
Let me ask y'all a question. Do JP owe that 140 grand to the Flins?
I think that's a whole.
That's
It's possible.
interesting.
Who
It's
he owe
possible.
that 140 to?
I was Dwayne. I was shocked when Tommy said to him, "Everybody has a number," and he threw that big of a number out there. I think that like I had told you before, Dwayne, before you even seen it, I said, yeah, they showed JP for about 10 seconds. I don't even know the purpose of showing JP, and then they showed Tommy's height. Because all our grandmothers back in the day used to mark our height every
They
year.
gonna do it. They gotta touch on the JP angle because his son as well. So I was thinking that JP owned the money. I was thinking that JP owed the money to CBI initially. But when he said 140, I'm like, that sounds like a big loan from CBI.
Do y'all
You
think
know,
JP could be trusted? I'm on the fence.
I don't think he could be trusted.
I will say,
He already
um,
hiding bones in his closet, so you know.
one of the things that Dwayne had advised me a couple years ago when we when we do this stuff, Dwayne, you're sick, man. One of the things that Dwayne had advised me years ago, you're gonna be on timeout real soon. You're gonna be banned for about 2 weeks, Dwayne Morris. But excuse me, you guys. Excuse me. Um, I think he has a lot of stuff that Tommy needs to be aware of. Keisha, I think he generally wants to get to know who family is, but I think it's so much history that Tommy's going to be surprised that he may not even trust his brother. Because at the end of the day, Kate made decisions that was for Kate, even though Tommy don't understand, and he, as he would say, he hates his mother. But I think that as a son and a mother's relationship, she might have saved Tommy, and she always said they tried to take you away from me. Now she would be talking about Teresi, but perhaps that's the reason why she ran to New York and left her
Right.
other son. Dwayne, you keep your computer on mute for a while because as Dwayne say, JP got a lot of bones in those closets, so you never know what's going on with him.
Now, can the CBI brothers coexist? Or is somebody going to be taking a quick exit out of this series?
Well, Dwayne, once again, me and you like some of these actors. And it's funny that
Isaac Keys.
Isaac Keys used to be a football player, and me and you I didn't know who he was at first, which is
I
crazy.
know.
And Chris Lofton is a pretty good actor, but I don't see Chris Lofton lasting past this season.
I thought
I
it was
just don't.
realistic that they kept his meat eye, though. You know, they kept his eye real meaty and his ear all chewed up. They did do that from the time he got kidnapped or whatever. But the brothers' relationship soured like too quickly for me, especially after the other one was incarcerated for 15 years. Like they fell out kind of quick.
I think they should go into Diamond. Like, who is he? You know what I mean? I think they can give us a little bit more character. Like, all right, we know
And
he was good.
if he was top of the food chain, then he would have been still running the stuff from jail. Or maybe
Right.
my street stuff is, I might not know nothing no more.
But
No,
my
but think
my
about
thing
it.
is,
Keisha, you bring up a very good point because the other man is running his crew from jail. Don't get him now. We're going to touch him on the outside. Like, so yeah, you're right. That other dude was running his crew from jail. What was it? Ramos, right? Did I get that right?
Rojas.
Ramos.
Rojas.
Rojas.
I think that they could have gave us some background of Diamond, like who is he? Um, do he have a
Well,
female
they
in his
did.
life? Do he got?
They did. He was a boxer. He was a
No, I
accomplished
think they could have gave
boxer.
us a little bit more though, Dwayne. A boxer, a barber. I think they, yeah.
He went
I
down
don't
for
think.
what happened. He went down for what happened to old boy's wife. You know, so
Mhm.
they give you little tidbits,
Well, you guys in the chat, that's about it for tonight. Like we say, that was a good
A
filler
five.
episode. Um, it's gonna come because episode 5 is like a mid-season season finale. So they're gonna give us some more next week, and then 5 will be a boom, 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 bang. And with that, any final thoughts, Keisha and Dwayne?
I hope it picks up.
Free Juwan Howard.
With that,
He
have
gonna
a good
lose that
week,
job. Good
and
night, y'all.
we'll see you guys next week. Good night.